Hello, thanks again for clicking on to weatherweb.tv. I'm Simon Keeley. This is the forecast for sailing for the week ahead as issued on Monday the 4th of February. We've done some work over the weekend and you'll see the fruits of that over the next few days, but keep sending me your feedback and letting me know what you think of the service to simon@weatherweb.net. I want to make this the one-stop shop for all sailors, if that doesn't sound a bit too twee. Anyway, let's take a look at what the weather forecast has for the week ahead. Okay, so we'll start first of all with the forecast for Tuesday, and you can see here on the pressure chart on Tuesday low pressure off the eastern parts of Scotland. That occluded front that backs its way through Scotland and also through Western Ireland is going to have some pretty heavy bursts of rain associated with it. They'll be tending to slip their way eastwards, bringing some moderate or poor visibility through the Irish Sea and much of Western Scotland and also Eastern Scotland and around the coast of Ireland. Generally, we're in a southwesterly flow. Now, don't be deceived that things improve behind that cold front moving eastwards, because I think still lots of cloud and outbreaks of rain right the way through the English Channel, up through the southwest approaches and the Irish Sea, and some spots of rain, most of it generally light by the looks of it. I think visibility generally moderate or poor around those western and also southern coasts of the country, and that really will be the situation throughout the course of the day. You can see there those winds are generally southwesterlies at 30 to 35 knots in the west, so that's up to gale force, and I think gales really running through much of the English Channel during the day. Much lighter winds though around the western and northern coasts of Scotland and also eastern Scotland with that low. You can see there the winds tending to go to the north or the northeast at around 5 to 10 knots, so probably around a force 3. On to Wednesday now. When a ridge of high pressure builds in Wednesday, see that kink in the isobars there running up the Irish Sea? That's the ridge, so it looks a much better day on Wednesday. There could still be some strong winds around at first, I think, down the eastern coast, where we could find a northwesterly at about 20 to 25 knots. That's probably around a force 6, but much lighter as that ridge builds through. Through the English Channel, west-northwesterlies at about 10 to 12 knots, so around about a force 3, and probably only force 2 to 3 around the southwest approaches running up through the Irish Sea. Through Scotland, westerlies probably around a force 4. However, the winds will be increasing as that warm front comes in from the southwest during the later part of the day, probably backing into the southeast at around a force 3 to force 4. Visibility through Wednesday looks like it should be quite good. On to Thursday now, and we're into a warm sector again, but things starting to change with pressure building towards the south. I think that warm sector will be bringing lots of cloud and drizzle through much of England, Wales and also Ireland, and also through many western coastal areas and perhaps the Western Channel. Through western coasts, I think generally we're in for a south to south-southwesterly at around a force 4. Over the eastern sides of the Channel, south to south-southwesterly at force 3 to 4, and up those eastern coasts, south-southwesterly at around a force 4 to force 5. You can see that cold front as well around much of Scotland and also Northern Ireland. That'll be bringing some more persistent outbreaks of rain, and I think northern and western Scotland having stronger winds too, southwesterlies at force 5. On to Friday now, and a warm front going up the western coast. That'll bring lots of low cloud and poor visibility through Western Ireland and Western Scotland. I think for much of eastern and southern parts of Britain, though, it's a much better day. Visibility probably moderate. Might be locally poor at first, but generally work on moderate and certainly becoming good through the day. For many eastern and southern coasts, we're into a southerly, probably around a 3 to the low end of a 4. But through western coasts, that includes the Irish Sea and Western Scotland, southerly at around 5, perhaps touching a 6 at times in northwestern Scotland. And then finally on to Saturday, and here's how things look for Saturday. We've got generally high pressure still building through the country. Notice how the isobars are further apart. So apart from that cold front which may just nudge into Western Ireland and northwestern Scotland bringing some cloud, I think we're into a southerly flow overall. Light winds in the eastern channel only at around a force 3 for much of the central and eastern channel as well as much of southeastern England. Visibility here moderate or good. Western coast, stronger winds, southerlies at around force 4, locally force 5, and I think perhaps force 6 off western Scotland, but becoming quite pleasant as far as sailing conditions go, with visibility generally rather good. Although I am thinking that those western coasts of southwest England and running up through the Irish Sea and Southern Ireland could see some fog patches at times, so perhaps some low cloud, reducing visibility to moderate or poor here at times. And that's how things look then. Remember, send me your feedback, and also if you know of any sponsors or advertisers, or perhaps you're interested in advertising yourself at weatherweb.tv, just send me an email and let me know. Have a good day.